I loved him, although guilt and fear had stifled my ability to tell him. I smiled into the compact mirror as I pictured him standing over the bed, camera in hand. He'd photographed me in a silk dressing gown, my hair mussed. He'd told me I was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. I'd laughed and launched a pillow at him, knocking him off balance. I glanced at Lucien's perfect profile. No crooked nose there, no scars of war. I'd once loved the idea of loving a man like Lucien, but there was no fooling myself anymore. It wouldn't be easy to pretend I was happy to be by his side tonight. But I owed him that much, at least. Later, when the gala was over, I would tell him I wanted to end our relationship. With a sigh, I snapped the compact shut and adjusted the neckline of my gown.
Why this sigh? Aren't you looking forward to tonight?
Lucia glanced at my gown as he started the engine.
You look nice, though I was hoping you'd wear the red dress. It's more becoming.
I stared at him, speechless, surprised I hadn't noticed before how often he suggested I might do something better, look better, feel better, everything always on his terms. How each time we argued, our words and accusations didn't seem to stick to him in the way they stuck to me, like it didn't matter what I'd said, or that I'd said anything at all. Should I change? The muscle along his jaw clenched.
Of course not.
He wore a smile that looked strained.
Forget I ever said it. Let's not spoil the evening, Cherie.
He gripped my knee possessively, then returned his hand to the wheel to navigate the winding roads.
I'd like tonight to be special.
I straightened the long folds of my royal blue gown, glad to have changed my mind at the last moment and packed it instead of the red. Lucien was right about one thing. We shouldn't spoil the evening. I didn't want to make a scene or ruin the special occasion. Grace had been far too kind to invite us. Lucia brought my hand to his lips, and I tensed as the smell of alcohol tinged the air. "Can you slow down?" I said. "You've been drinking."
Don't worry, it was only one scotch.
I bit my lip as we twisted around each bend. As we wound around the roads and approached the circular drive of the sporting club, dozens of cars and pedestrians filled the streets, and we thankfully slowed from the thickening traffic. Clouds threatened, and any moment the sky would open. Not the greatest weather while dressed in gowns and heels. I peered out of the window at the sea. Though it was evening, the waterfront glowed from the light cast by the casino, luxury hotels, and beautiful lanterns that lit the streets. And something else. The flutter of flashbulbs. The press swarmed the casino and the square in front of us. James had mentioned he'd be here tonight, keeping his boss happy with plenty of photographs. My heart skipped a beat as I pictured him among the crowd of photographers, elbowing his way to the front. I only hoped he'd be too busy to notice me on the arm of another man. Another man I was desperate to escape. I willed the rain to fall, to give me an excuse to rush inside. An incredible racket filled the air. The throngs of onlookers gathered outside the building, many shouting, some screaming in delight, others gossiping over the beautiful people in ball gowns streaming toward the entrance. "Shall we slip in around the back entrance?" I suggested. "It's all a bit chaotic out here." But Lucien wouldn't hear of such a thing. This was his moment to be seen mingling with royalty.
Don't be silly. The chaos is part of the thrill, Sophie.
I wish I was squirreled away in my apartment in Cannes or in Grasse. I didn't like the chaos, didn't need the thrill. I could only imagine the pressure Princess Grace, must feel, not to mention the fatigue. So many people always wanting to see you, to be near you.